We are live again. All right. We're here with Anthony Trapani. Welcome again to the Global Youth Leadership Summit weekly momentum session. We are honestly so privileged to have the #1 coach at GYLS on with us today. I'm going to read a quick thing from him. And so here it is. Anthony has served as a coach for the Global Youth Leadership Summit in 2012, 13, and 14, 3 straight years. And he was selected as the 2013 Global Youth Leadership Summit Bright Future Award honoree, also known as the Coach of the Week. This past summer, he served as the program director for the 2014 Great Plains DeMolay Leadership Conference. Anthony holds an associate degree in criminal justice and is currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in criminal justice as well as a child advocacy certification at Wilmington University. He is a case manager at the law offices of Seymour, Wasserstrum, and I just said that right, specializing in bankruptcy, and has helped hundreds of people avoid foreclosures, evictions, repossessions while eliminating their debt and helping them get a fresh start in life. He served as a state master counselor of New Jersey's DeMolay in 2005 and now serves as an adult volunteer for the organization, working with youth in not only New Jersey but across the country. Anthony also serves on the board of governors for the Northfield Center for the Children's Dyslexia Centers of New Jersey, assisting with various fundraisers. And that all sounds awesome, but it nowhere nearly does justice to who we have on today. I'm telling you, if you want to ever come and be a coach at GYLS at the Global Youth Leadership Summit, this is the man you want to role or model after. He's one of my biggest role models. He's the person that I look up to at GYLS, my brother from another. Here we go. Here's Anthony. You're live.
Wow, Sergio, that's ironic, man, because I go to the Youth Summit and you're the guy I look to. You're the role model. So I certainly appreciate the kind words. I'm happy to be here with everybody this morning. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you might be in the country or the world. We certainly appreciate you, whether you're here live with us or watch this video after we are finished. I do want to preface with giving a shout out to a very good friend of mine, Brad Northcutt. I kind of took this presentation and modified what he had given me. He asked me to serve this year as the program director for the Great Plains DeMolay Leadership Conference. It's something that Brad has worked on for many, many years. This was the 7th year of the program, and he asked me to come along. So right after my week in San Diego for the Youth Summit, I hopped on an airplane and went out to Oklahoma. So Brad gave me the opportunity to present this presentation. I have modified it a little bit since the actual presentation in July. So I hope that I can gear it toward everybody that views the program or views the video this morning and thereafter. But I will preface with that this program was designed for our youth organization called DeMolay. I know Sergio had mentioned that briefly. I am a past state master counselor for the organization, fundraising, speaking, working with youth when I was 19 years old. So that really set the foundation for where I am today. So I thought it was a fitting topic to really look at leadership. This is just a very generic, basic introduction that we like to give to the members of the organization. Seeing how the Youth Leadership Summit and the young people there are very similar to what I work with outside that organization, I figure how fitting to do a presentation on leadership. So there is a PowerPoint available for anybody that wants to follow along. I'll bounce back to that a few times as we go through the session, and I'll have videos for you guys. So. That, like the Leadership 101, to act as where is a person who moves or travels behind someone or something, whereas the leader is a person who leads or commands a group, organization. That very definition. The follow-up question to that is going to be, I can't see anyone, but we're doing this. made. And then we're going to ask how many of you aren't sure? So we're all here today because naturally we're all leads. But there's really no to that. Leaders that are born need. We come and we may go through and else to our own set. And we need to thank Sergio for that. He is facilitating everything and making sure the work in advance and making sure he has proper introductions. So Sergio, even though you're behind the scenes for most of these, you did your own session. By the very definition, you are a leader.
Well, thank you very much, Anthony. And actually, super quick, let me just jump right in. I pretty much blow it every week with the whole Facebook comments thing. I totally forgot again. And we have a post at the top of the group, the GYLS Momentum group, right? Yeah, this whole live thing is kind of interesting to play with, but hopefully they can all understand the concept and hear it all. Yeah, I kind of lost you a couple times before, but last time it just flowed, so we're just going to go with the flow because it's live, and that's what makes it interesting and fun. So, at the GYLS Momentum Sessions Facebook group, I have a post pinned to the top, and it says, "We're live with Anthony. Post any questions or comments here." So I posted the first one, "Are leaders born or made?" And as you ask questions, I'm going to write them out in that, and then with the lag, within a couple minutes, we'll get some answers, and then we'll flow those to you once we get them. All right? Back to you.
As far as leadership goes, we'll look at whether we're being supportive. Being supportive is about you good, Sergio?
Yeah. If you feel like you've lost it, just go with it because it's live. And so even though you think maybe you're cutting out or I'm cutting out, just keep it flowing. Maybe talk a bit slower, and then hopefully it will all work out in the end. I've been getting thumbs up that you haven't actually been cutting out, so one.
Okay.
Ooh, I think we actually have an answer. It might just be Anthony, but he's lagging quite a bit. Okay, yeah, you actually are lagging quite a bit, I guess, for our viewers on YouTube, which we have a couple now. Where did you go? Did he disappear for YouTube, guys? Comment on that post, on the Facebook post. Nick Marino, I know you commented. Is he gone now? Should I take over leadership? Should we get Jessica to do leadership 101? Oh, he's actually gone. Okay, where am I? I think I'm actually on YouTube right now. So here's what's great about being live. We get the opportunity to be flexible, and I would believe that Anthony would bring up being flexible as a leadership trait. It's something that Tony teaches where it's called utilization. You just have to use whatever comes at you. So yeah, he was lagging and then he disappeared. It might be because he's on. I can hear most of what he's saying. Can you hear most of what I'm saying at least? Because I'm on Wi-Fi too. I'm not actually plugged in because I don't have a plug where I am. So Julian, can you hear what I'm saying at least? I think Jessica can hear what I'm saying. Emily? Yeah, he's gone. Thanks, guys. I can see that. Anyway, so being flexible. Hold on, we're just getting comments like rolling in now. This whole disappeared. Yep, got it. So being flexible. Hold on, let me write him a quick thing. So, in terms of being flexible, and as a coach at GYLS, that's like the #1 rule because although for you guys as ambassadors, alumni, and even youth leaders, it looks like there's like structure at GYLS, and I don't want to give away all of the whole thing, but to be flexible is a huge piece of a coach at GYLS, because someday we might have something we have to do, and then boom, the plan totally changes and we have to do something else. So being flexible is huge, and being live gives us the opportunity to be flexible, improv on the spot. So we've actually got some answers in the meantime while Anthony's fixing his whole thing. Ariana said, leaders, I think, are born. There's a leader in everyone, but they're also made. Okay, so a little bit of both. Because over time, the leadership skills they possess grow. I think it's a little bit of both. That's an awesome answer. I'm going to like it on Facebook. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, you guys can hear me. I'm not wasting my time. This is awesome. I hear you, Emily. Awesome. Jeff, they are created or coached. All right, so we've got Ariana who thinks they're both. Jeff who thinks they're created or coached. Nicholas can hear us. Awesome. Okay. So is he back yet? Nope. I'm just going to continue on Leadership 101 because I feel like it. Because I've learned so much from Anthony. Kind of rubbed off on me while I was at GYLS with him. So I'm definitely not going to do his presentation justice, but at least this is a lesson in flexibility. And Carolyn, if you ever end up watching this, you'll understand. I got this pretty much from you and Anthony. I think he might actually be like restarting his computer or something, so he'll be back soon and continue with the presentation. So leaders are born or made. I know there's a bunch more of you on here, so if you can take the time, I know there's a weird lag. Nick Marino, I'm calling you out. Are leaders born or made? Julian, I don't think you answered. Emily, Nicholas. And I know there's a couple more because it says there's a bunch of people live watching, so let's get some answers going. And real quick, because we're live and it's awesome, I'm just going to pass it to Jen. Boom, you're live. Go. Leadership 101. I would argue Leadership 101 is getting up at 6:45 on a Saturday to keep the momentum going and support behind the scenes. So let's talk about that.
Talk about whether leaders are born or made?
Leadership 101. What do you think? Here's a good question. What do you think embodies leadership? Like, what is the most important leadership trait is actually a better question.
For me, it's supporting other people. I mean, for everyone, a leadership is a little bit different. Like, you do exercises at GYLS, like how you order your leadership skills. And I mean, there's different times when different leadership styles are brought into, like, when you need to have one. But for me, it's about, like, the people you're around. Like, not exactly the people you're leading, but the people you're giving an example to, I guess. So.
We've actually got another answer from Jessica on the call. We can't actually hear you because you're muted, but I'm going to take it to me. So Jessica actually said both. Some are born, some are made, and some are both. Either way, leadership can improve and be grown just like any other quality. Guys, I don't know if you can hear me. We can't actually hear you.
I agree with Jessica. I think they can be born, but they're shaped over time.
Yeah, definitely. And that's
like adding.
That's something that GYLS does. You go to GYLS to improve your leadership skills. If you were born a leader, GYLS wouldn't really do anything for you, right?
Yeah.
So they're made at GYLS. That's something that is definitely true. It's also true that some people have the innate characteristics of a leader being born. Some people have flexibility while some people do not. It's definitely good to have flexibility. Do we have another answer? I got a notification, but it hasn't shown up.
Nick said leaders are actually built in a factory in Detroit.
Nice, Nick. A+, buddy. You're the man. Julian, I think it's both. Everyone can be a leader, but some people choose not. Oh, okay, so he's saying it's a choice to be a leader or not. That's interesting. Emily, Let me see. Here, you can actually read it because you're the designated question reader.
Emily said, although I agree there are naturally born leaders, I believe most leaders are made. When we are babies, we are more like followers, learning from our parents until we are able to lead ourselves in our own. That's a good answer.
Oh, that's an awesome answer, Emily. Very cool. So, I
But I mean,
think,
hey,
oh my
oh, he's
God,
back.
our session presenter. Wow, this is amazing. Ultimate test and flexibility. This is so much fun when it's
Testing our
live.
leadership.
If we like practiced this in advance and it had been recorded and stuff and we just pressed play, it would have been so boring because it would have just been presentation from start to finish, the end. But we get like some awesome distinctions. That's a good point, Emily. Nice. I believe everyone is a leader. One decides whether to be or not. Awesome. We have a lot of awesome answers. Anthony, you're back. All right, man. I don't know if, well, you probably didn't see any of that. We just had like a crazy huge session on flexibility. I just did like a little, the whole time you were gone, a piece on being flexible and utilization and using what happens and why it's so much fun to do it live. So we actually have a bunch of answers, Anthony. So maybe, Jen, you want to just read off all of the different answers specifically about are leaders born or made, and then you can
Yeah.
just pick it up from there.
Ariana said, leaders I think are born. There's a leader in everyone, but they're also made because over time the leader skills they possess grow. I think it's a little bit of both. Jeffrey said they're created or coached. Julian said, I think it's both. Everyone can be a leader, but some people choose not to. Emily said, although I agree there are naturally born leaders, I believe most leaders are made. When we are babies, we are more like followers, learning from our parents until we are able to lead our lives on our own. And then Nicholas said, I believe everyone is a leader or decides whether to be one or not.
Awesome. So I'm sending it back to Anthony. Is it going to work? Are you back? Can we hear you? You're live. I think there's like a huge lag for some reason. Are you on Wi-Fi, Anthony? So YouTubers, if you can see him / hear him, that would be awesome to post and let us know. And as of right now, 10:24, we'll see how long that takes to have that question answered so we can calibrate the lag. It's looking like he's here, but I cannot hear what he's saying. Kind of looks like he's frozen. Is he frozen? Or maybe he's just holding the tableau.
It looks like he's frozen.
Yeah. I think everyone can see him at the bottom of YouTube anyway.
This is really a test from Anthony to test our leadership skills. Sergio.
Pretty much. Lesson number 2, change your approach. So, for the first time, who knows what he did, but you're going to have to try something else, Anthony, because it's not working. So, let me see. We still haven't got any answers for that yet. So, there's probably a decent lag on YouTube, too. I don't know if everyone can see. I think to do Anthony... Oh, is he moving? We can kind of see you moving, Anthony. Can we hear you?
Anthony?
Hello? Anybody? Let's just watch him for a second. Oh no, his camera's kind of gone. Yeah, I think it's going to be a leadership session requirement to have a hard plug, hard connection. Let me see.
Nope, he's not there, but we can hear him.
Oh my God, we just heard you just now for the first time. This is amazing. Well, I swear we tested this before and it worked.
He was here.
I believe everyone is a leader. What the heck? No, that's not right.
No, they said.
That's why I'm not the Facebook question moderator. His icon showing. I can't hear him just now. That took 2 full minutes basically. Nope, he's here, but we can't. Okay, what? Can't hear him. I think he's frozen. Yeah. So.
He's here, but no one can hear him. Nope, now he's gone.
Yeah, he's been gone. Okay, so I don't want to take his presentation because obviously it's his. I couldn't even do it. I don't
Okay.
have a clue about it.
Well,
I think if his thing isn't working, it might be a good idea to give him another shot to do the whole thing with plugged in and not on Wi-Fi. But we still have to deliver. We have to just be flexible and deliver. So, Jen, you're going to half lead the session. And maybe Jessica, if your mic is working, you can hop in too. So this is going to be more of a question and answer, and we're just going to turn it into flexibility and utilization because that's such an important leadership skill. If you want to, like I was saying before Anthony kind of semi came back and then disappeared again, if you want to be a leader, you have to be able to utilize the situation, whatever comes up. Maybe he can call you and then put your phone against the mic, or perhaps he can log onto a different system. Yeah, that's kind of hectic, and it's already 10:30.
yeah.
So he would only get half a presentation. So we're going to make sure that he can serve you guys at the highest level and deliver his full thing. We don't want to cut him off halfway. We also don't want to keep you guys here till like whatever time it is for you. I don't know if it's Australia till 3, 4 in the morning trying to figure this out. So we'll figure out working him back in somehow. Oh, that intro was so epic though. Why do we have chats in this? Hold on. Oh my God. What is going on? Okay, so as of right now, I know it's going to take 2 minutes to even get this question for you guys, but let's form a question around utilization and being flexible. Where in your life has that ever shown up? When was a time, if you can post in the thing, when you had to be flexible or use utilization? Something came up that you weren't planning on it, and you used it, and it actually turned out awesome. So that would be great to hear from you guys. And we're going to start with Jen, and then we're going to go to Jess.
Well, this is a really nice example of the flexibility. But I mean, it happens all the time. Like, if you have a set plan for something, when, like, I don't know, it just happens a lot where you plan for something and you're, like, prepared for it, and then either just something happens, that in the process happens where it either delays it or moves something forward. You just have to kind of go with it. I mean, it's like you can just put yourself in a state where you can just roll with it. Like, you don't really have a choice at some point. Like, it's just how you have to be, and it's a great leadership skill to have because it helps with other people too. Like how people you're around can go from one thing to the next, and if you're flexible, you can help support them and like be prepared yourself. So it's a really great leadership skill to have.
Awesome.
I don't know if we can hear Jess.
I'm going to unmute her.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you, I think. Hold on.
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
Hi. Okay, my background noise might be loud, so I apologize. But I think this is when they say that you should expect the unexpected and prepare ahead for anything that you might not expect. But I think that's definitely a part of leadership because anything can go wrong and you need to expect that and keep that in mind. And also learn from it too, because a huge thing is that things are always going to go wrong, and you just need to run with it and not look at anything as a failure and just look at it as an opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jess. That was awesome. I want to meet you. All those little kids in the back are awesome. They're, yeah.
Okay, let me check the questions.
Do we have any questions? I think Nick just said, yeah, put your phone against the mic. I don't know if that would be serving at the highest level, Nicholas. We have
in
any
this
more?
Situation, I don't think so. No, there's nothing yet.
Yeah, no, we need to see him. We need to see his face. So
He worked hard on it.
Yeah, here's another. Oh, is he kind of back? I'm gonna still go on this because this is awesome and it just came to me. Anthony, are you kind of back?
Yeah, I had to improvise. The wireless in the office isn't working that well, so I had to hook up to a wire.
I can hear you so clearly. This is amazing.
Yeah, the wireless not so good, man. All right.
Yeah. It's all good. So we're going to have a vote on YouTube. If you're watching right now live, vote if you want to continue as of now for an hour till whatever time it is, 11:30 for me, or if you want to reschedule it and start from the beginning and do it again. Now, super
Well,
quick, because this
we
just
will-
came to me and this is awesome. We were kind of just talking about flexibility for like 10 or 15 minutes, Anthony, however long it's been.
yeah.
Tony says that the quality of your life is directly proportionate to the amount of uncertainty you can comfortably live with. And that's so powerful in a situation like right now. If you value certainty in one of your top two needs, you are probably freaking out right now. Like, you have no idea what to do with your life. So it's important to, obviously you don't want uncertainty or certainty at the bottom, because everyone needs all six. You all need certainty. Maybe you only need a tiny little bit of it. I don't really need a whole lot right now. But to move uncertainty up in how much you can comfortably live with is a powerful thing. I think we might have some answers. I don't know if that's to my
Emily said.
first question or to, I missed the, what? Wow, there's,
Emily, do you want me to do it?
yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. Emily Arlen answered your question about flexibility, saying, I missed my plane connection when I was traveling home from Florida and had to spend the night in Florida. Although I missed spending some time with my cousins on the holiday, I had a lot of fun and made the most of it with my immediate family. And then Jeffrey said, for me it was at GYLS that night with a youth, and we were up until 2 a.m.
That was
That's
heavy utilization. Some craziness came up, and we just flowed with it. And Jeffrey is the man for making that happen. Whatever we did, we've
That's
got 2
awesome.
votes for let's continue. So we're just gonna roll with it. And that was a little side note, sneak peek on flexibility, which actually turned out kind of awesome. It was a really real life example of
Well,
using.
it's a good thing I was still at the beginning. So
That was totally staged, by the way. You all think it wasn't?
It was a test.
Yeah, we're all testing you. You're all committed. You're all still here, so that's awesome. Good for you.
the lesson here is make sure your internet connection works.
Yeah, Anthony, you're back. And yeah, you're in a different spot than when we tested it. That's another thing that I should probably remember for session leaders. Go to where you're going to be when you do the session, and let's try that out. Because if we test it on an awesome connection and then you go do your session in the forest or something, it's not going to work. All right, man. Yeah, we've got 2 Let's Continue, so just pick it up where you left off.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it short. I won't do an entire hour.
No,
But
go for it. Give her. As long as they're here, the viewers are actually adding, so there's more than there were before when you were first talking. So
all right.
as long as they're there, once we get to 0 viewers, they'll be like, all right, we're done. But even still, it's recorded on YouTube, so it'll be there for everyone to watch. So you don't want to cut it short. It's totally.
Right.
You're live. Well, you've been live, but go ahead.
Let's just take a recap on the difference between a follower and a leader. Follower is defined as a person who moves or travels behind someone or something. Leader is a person who leads or commands a group, organization, or country. That's very important for later on. And then I would ask by a show of hands, how many of you think leaders are born or leaders are created? And then if you're unsure, how many of you are unsure? Raise your hand. Obviously, we're all leaders. We've all taken the initiative to be here, whether it's the morning, middle of the afternoon, middle of the night, evening, afternoon, whatever it may be. We're all here because we want to be better leaders. So not to say that leaders aren't born, but a lot of times we do need to harness our skills as leaders. I'll tell you, I wasn't always this wonderful coach that Sergio may think. I was the guy that was sitting in the back of the room as a 12-year-old kid, not wanting to be bothered with any kind of leadership. That wasn't my style. So let's talk about being supported or being supportive. Being supportive is about listening. It's about moving, whereas being supported is about resting, leaning, lounging around, settling. So you have those options as a leader. You can support those that you're working with, and they will support you in turn. So, and then leadership is about listening more and talking less. So I've always had this idea that I will learn more about somebody by listening to their story and hearing what makes them, their thought process work. So I always go with this idea that you'll learn more about somebody by listening than by talking. Most people are so in their own heads and ready and waiting to respond about what someone's talking about, instead of really taking the content. I know, Sergio, you have a phenomenal presentation on presence. This kind of falls in line with that topic. Is we need to really be present and engaged while we're in a conversation, trying to get to know somebody, and being prepared to respond, and just let it happen organically. So I do just want to shoot to a quick video for you guys called The Leaders.
So while Anthony's figuring out how to share his screen and get that video going, let's see if there's any more comments. So we didn't have any not continue comments. They're all let's continue, so that's what we're gonna do. Let me see. Yes, this is definitely a valuable lesson in flexibility. Is your video up yet? No, not yet. It'll be up soon. So, flexibility, Jen, go. You're like, oh man, this is so much fun. Talk about when you've ever been put on the spot, other than right now, obviously.
Oh.
But until that, and then we'll get
put on the spot. I was supposed to take a advanced placement government test on Monday, and my teacher, I went in yesterday to study with my teacher, and he asked me to take it yesterday, so I had to take one of my finals like really early, 3 days early. There's flexibility for you. Can you hear me?
Am I muted? Yeah.
I don't know what's happening, but okay.
That's good. You can get some sort of filler going in while you're loading the video. Is it working, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm ready. I was just waiting for you guys to finish.
Oh.
Oh, whoops. We were totally waiting for you to have it. Flexibility. This should be called Flexibility 101. All right, man. It's on you. You're live. Everyone's watching you on YouTube. You're famous.
I don't know about famous.
Is the video playing?
I don't think so. I think you need to share your screen.
I may have. It's up, but it's not playing. So let's see. Improvising. Sergio and I couldn't figure out how to get the PowerPoint up together, so.
Maybe if you just share your screen for just the PowerPoint and then play the video within the PowerPoint, right? That might work. Maybe.
I have to have the PowerPoint open, but then I can't get to the screen. So it's so if yeah, flexibility key for today.
On a side note, we just got a comment on YouTube for you, Anthony. Let me see if I can pull this up and show you. 1 second. What the heck? Why didn't it show up? Here. Oh, there it is. Anthony, check it out. Hold on. Let me see if I can show this properly. Hold on. Okay, do you guys see this? It's from Taylor Swift. Can you read that? And she said, "You're hot, man."
Really?
From Taylor Swift, I swear. Look,
Get out of here.
can you guys read that? Is it backwards for you right now?
No, it's right.
I don't know.
Taylor Swift, man. Leadership 101. Is that what it says? Yep. Yeah.
I'm a little uncomfortable at the moment. I'm ready to kick it to my video. Dude.
Actually, I think it's on you. I don't think anyone saw that. Wait, I have to actually show them.
No, we saw it.
Yeah, we can
But
see
no,
it.
YouTube needs to see it too. There, that's for Anthony. Good job, Anthony.
Okay, Taylor Swift.
It's actually her. She has like millions of followers, so she thinks you're hot. I don't know what she's doing watching Leadership in the morning on a Saturday, but
Well, I'm gonna kick it to my screen there, Sergio.
yeah, you're on right now. You're live.
All right, I'm gonna kick it to my screen.
I wonder what these viewers are thinking right now. Like, Emily's like, "What the heck am I watching right now?"
Oh God.
Actually,
You know,
it would be awesome if you guys post where you guys are from right now, because I know Emily's in California. She woke up extra early to watch this. Emily,
Yeah,
what do you
Emily.
think?
You know, Sergio, we just figured out that there is a spot in Hangouts where I can actually play the PowerPoint from my desktop, and yeah, it's fantastic.
That's
So
awesome.
is the video shared? Can you see
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Progress occurs when courageous, skillful leaders seize the opportunity to change things for the better. Awesome.
Enough on the YouTube buffer.
All right, give her.
Good job, YouTube. I'm going to give that a second to load. What I really want to point out here in this particular slide is going to be characteristics of a leader. They're skilled, they're visionaries, they collaborate, they're decisive and courageous, confident and assertive. Some other things that will make a successful leader are commitment, honesty, accountability, respect, courage, ethics, and integrity. So these are some key things that my interpretation of leadership, what we see, and we'll see that in this video here. So these are just some characteristics that do define and make an exceptional leader. So. Sorry guys, I'm not sure what's going on here.
Well, it says experiencing interruptions, find out why. So that might be kind of interesting to click on that. They're fully actually having their own conversation on Facebook about Taylor Swift right now.
I love you guys. You guys make my morning.
Go ahead and do that while Anthony loads his video.
They're talking about Taylor Swift.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Right, Anthony, you ready? It looks like it's still kind of loading. So I'm just going to go back to me and read these because it's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, let's hear it.
Well, yeah, because Anthony can't even see this, so we have to enlighten him. Ariana said maybe Taylor Swift wants to learn to be a leader. And then Nick was like, what a burn. But then Ariana goes, I didn't even think of it being a burn, so it's all about intention, Nicholas. Things aren't always as they appear. And then Jeff said, whoa, Anthony, Taylor's watching and now millions will start watching these sessions. Dude, you rock. And then Emily said, don't worry, T-Wizzle will shake it off. Nice, Emily. Oh. Are you back, Anthony? Actually, can everyone see? Hold on.
His cam thing is back on.
It breaks whenever I go to share.
At least we can hear you, though.
Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, we can now.
Alright. So let's try the video through the actual PowerPoint. And then, you guys really don't need to see me. I mean, Taylor Swift already has, so that's uncomfortable. But what if it's not her? What if it's like an assistant or something? So.
No, she definitely thinks you're hot. You should send her some flowers or something.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Or just tweet her or something. Yeah, I don't know if this video is gonna work. So I would use utilization and maybe explain the video. And then yeah, we just do this little blue webcam thing from like the 90s.
He's gone.
I remember those. I used to have one of those. It was the weirdest thing before computers had them like built in. You would have
thing on the top.
Thing like sitting on top of your huge desktop computer. It was so weird.
Yeah, my internet is absolutely terrible here, and I would expect in my job that it would work. All right, so can you guys see the PowerPoint?
No.
Right now, all we see is pitch black. And it's 10:50, so I'm gonna make happen some sort of what's it called? Second try 2.0, Anthony 2.0. Eventually, at some point, and you're gonna be able to. We're gonna like test your internet connection. It's gonna be amazing. And then
yeah, I guess I just need to find. I should have probably went to Starbucks or something.
That would have been that would have been interesting. I don't think we've had a session. They've all been in like your room, so going to like
session in Starbucks
would be cool.
Trying to get a feel for that, but I don't know. I guess it's not coming through.
Nope. Imagine if at UPW Tony's like just all his things didn't work. His audio wouldn't work. Imagine his mic didn't work at UPW with 5,000 people.
Dude, he would probably just scream it anyway.
There was a story that he was doing UPW in London and the power went out for 20 minutes. It was, yeah.
That's awesome because that room would be like pitch black. That's a big room and it's not like there's windows. That's
okay. So my PowerPoint crashed. Everything is yeah.
If you're watching, you need to hear that story when you lead your session. My network, what the heck? My network is fine.
It's my job, man.
It's okay. You'll get a chance to do it again.
Sergio, yeah, we're gonna have to do a redo.
Yeah, man, it's all good.
Because am I still I still black on the screen?
No, it's you. There's still viewers. People are loving this. This is like reality TV or something.
Alright.
The real leaders of across the world.
So literally, here's how about this? This is just like a stretch. Drop the whole presentation, and for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, just go in
We're going to eliminate the videos.
flexibility, utilization, being a leader, new material, and then you can do your leadership
actually
at some point.
Once I got through those 2 videos, I was finished. So I'm just going to talk about the rest of it, and I'm not going to go to any videos. You guys can see me, right? So I'm just going to finish it up. We'll do a recap of it, and that'll be it. How's that? You can all hear me, right?
Yeah.
And then when I start doing these presentations in person and we get all these, because I had a really great sound team in Oklahoma. So when these issues popped up, they made them disappear. These guys made me look like a rock star. When I said play a video, they made it work. That's not my forte, man. So I just want to talk about the rest of my PowerPoint. So I've picked 3 leaders that I think we can all look to as examples. Derek Jeter, he's in his 20th season as a Major League Baseball player, and he's with the same team, which is really unheard of in years of free agency. He's been with the same team. He's a really class act. He never gives up. He never gives less than the maximum effort. And now that he's traveling, he's in his final season. Other teams are recognizing his. So you never really hear back. Another one we can point to is a guy that we all know, and we embody everything that he represents, and that's Anthony Robbins. So here's a guy that every day leads by example. At this, there's UPWs, there's Date with Destinies, there's Business Masteries. This is a man that's sharing his gift of leadership with the world. So we all recognize that and have had some kind of opportunity to experience what he brings to the table. And then the last person I want to talk about is Bill Clinton, and this is really for the organization of DeMolay that I work with. Bill Clinton was the 42nd president of the United States, but after he was done his term as president, he really went into an initiative with HIV and AIDS, malaria, tuberculosis. So he's been doing some phenomenal things. Not only being the president of our country, but all the things that he's done after the fact. So I don't have it up, and I don't know if you guys can see it in the actual PowerPoint itself, but Bill Clinton was inducted into our organization's Hall of Fame in 1988. And the quote that we got from him was, "For 69 years, the Order of DeMolay has prepared young men to become better citizens and leaders of our country, for our country. My DeMolay experience gave me the confidence to develop my skills as a speaker, team member, and leader, and then to realize and accomplish my dreams. I will always be thankful for the guidance given to me by my friends in DeMolay." So, and I know a lot of you don't have any idea what the organization is about. So I did put a little blurb in the PowerPoint here. DeMolay is an organization dedicated to preparing young men to lead successful, happy, and productive lives. Basing its approach on timeless principles and practical hands-on experience, DeMolay opens the door for young men aged 12 to 21 by developing the civic awareness, personal responsibility, and leadership skills so vitally needed to society today. DeMolay combines the serious mission with a fun approach that builds important bonds of friendship among members in more than 1,000 chapters worldwide. So this really resonates with me because of my association with GYLS and the youths, all the young people that are involved in the organization. It's really a second home for me. With my background being with this other youth organization, it's just a natural fit for me, and the people that come together and take care of each other and look after each other, it's phenomenal. The support system that you offer each other, these momentum sessions, it's really phenomenal work, and you all should be really proud of that. So I did have the 212th degree video. A lot of us have seen that to start the Youth Leadership Summit, so I really don't want to get into that, but I will get into this. I don't want to screw anything else up with the video side of it, so I'll just point out some highlights in it. So the 212th degree, the question there is going to be, what makes a leader an any endeavor is the 212 degrees. At 211 degrees, water is hot. At 212, water boils. With one extra degree of effort, you can empower yourself to do extraordinary things in life. One extra degree separates the good and the great from the extraordinary. I know we hear that at the Youth Summit, so it's something that I really wanted to remind everybody of. So I've added this concept of the tipping point. There's some books out there on this idea. It was initially a physics term referring to adding a small amount of weight to a balanced object until the additional weight caused the object to suddenly and completely topple or tip. So that tipping point is really important, and it goes along with the idea of the 212 degree because of a tiny shift is where you're going to see all the results. So we all work really hard in what we're trying to accomplish, but it's just that little shift, and Tony talks about it with the 2 millimeters. So that's what I see in that tipping point, because now it's evolved. Now the tipping point has evolved into any process in which beyond a certain point, the rate of process increases dramatically. So once we hit that point, we're seeing success at a very, very fast rate. So the last thing I have is just a few keys to being an extraordinary leader. So there's 7 of them. So first we'll start with developing a service attitude. Service is the lifeblood of any organization. Everything flows from it, and everything is nourished by it. I had the opportunity at the Youth Summit to really talk to and pick the brain of Anand Chulani. He's one of the guest speakers, and there's three words that he told me. He said, when you go out and you're trying to influence a room or anybody, just remember to serve their soul. And I give all the credit in the world to him for that message. That was the first thing that popped into my head when I first delivered this presentation in Oklahoma. Was why am I going out here? What am I doing? And it's really to serve the young people that had given up a week of their lives away from their cell phones, away from their Facebook, away from their internet, video games, a week to be immersed in leadership. So I wanted to go out there and I wanted to serve to the highest level. The next thing is going to be love what you do. Many things will catch your eye, but very few will catch your heart. Pursue those. Someone once told me that you'll never work another day of your life if you love what you do. It was actually pretty interesting. While I was in California and I was in Oklahoma, I was away for, it actually came out to about 18 days. And I got a message from someone back home that said, hey, when you come back to the real world? I said, you know, that boggles my mind because I'm in the real world. I'm living my life. I get it. Things are still going on back home. People are still doing what they normally would do. But to do 2 youth leadership summits back to back over and all the travel and over 18 days, that was the life that I wanted to live, and that's what I loved doing. So the next thing is going to be focusing on priorities. So we really need to focus on the critical few, not the insignificant many. We live in a society where we're really bogged down by emails and text messages, Facebook, social media, all that stuff, and we're really distracted by what's coming at us, and we're very reactionary, so we really need to focus on the important things. So number 4, understand the soft stuff. So there are 2 more powerful things than money and power, and that's going to be recognition and praise. What are the things you could do for someone to show them you appreciate them? Doesn't have to be financially, doesn't have to be giving power. It's just simple as recognition and praise. So number 5, embrace humor and optimism. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. So if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Commitment to excellence. Excellence is not an act, it's a habit. So be the best of yourself. It's not about being cocky. It's about being or arrogant. It's just about being confident. Earn trust. The last thing is to earn trust. Leadership cannot be taken, it must be earned. And finally, aim from the heart. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I really want to say for all of you to get out of your head and feel it in your heart. A lot of times we're too busy thinking up here about what our next step is going to be, and leading is really not about thinking. It's just about, for me, it's about feeling. So I do have the last is going to be out of the PowerPoint. It's going to be a quote that really, when I served, and I made sure that Sergio mentioned that I was a past state master counselor for this organization. I At that time, I was the 56th. Right now, they run the 64th. There's one per year. Not every person that serves the organization has the opportunity to serve in that position. It's almost a thankless position because you're out traveling every day. You're running events, you're program planning, you're just doing a lot of different things, and it's a hard year to live. But something that really resonated with me as I did that and learned how to become a leader was a quote by John Quincy Adams. It says, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." I didn't realize it at the time, but when I gave my my outgoing speech and my address in our program, that was the quote that I finished with, because it really represented being a leader to me. So that's really I know I kind of went through this last section pretty fast. I don't know how long this internet stuff is going to hold up, but in person, I do have a video somewhere of when I did the program back in Oklahoma. You know, with being on a live web chat and going through the program, it's hard to really get up, move around, music, videos. I'd love to add that stuff to it. Not exactly my specialty, but they are things that will increase the actual presentation. I hope you enjoy the content. I'm always working on that portion of it. And again, I do want to give kudos to my buddy Brad for really giving me the foundation to present this program. And every time I get the opportunity to do it, it's going to be better and better. So I do appreciate everybody sticking by for the past hour. I know it wasn't easy with the technical stuff. I did want to get into more stories and more content, videos and stuff like that, but hopefully the content is there. If you really want to check out the stuff, look at the PowerPoints. The videos are pretty cool, and really just enjoy the content. So I'll kick it back to you, Sergio. Hopefully everything's still going.
Yeah, it's all good. I heard that whole thing, so that was awesome. Hopefully everyone else did, and we still have viewers. It's not like people left, so that's awesome. Emily said, "Can't wait for Anthony 2.0." So she wants you back, Anthony.
Okay, you know, I could I'll switch it up. I'll bring another presentation. I have a few that I work with and really cater them to the presentation. So
instead of leadership 101, it can be leadership 201. The next level.
I will definitely be back with something else. So
awesome. So what Alex said, I love that quote. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, which is awesome. And so if you guys have any questions for Anthony, now is the time to post them. And I have a question for you. And I forget exactly what you said about it's not about being cocky or arrogant, it's about being confident, something along those lines. If you can all let us all know, because you were the coach of the year last year, what you think that you did, what leadership traits you embodied that allowed you to become the coach of the year. And not from an arrogant or cocky place, because I know that's not you. Again, it will probably be hard for you to talk about that because you're so humble, yet you're so amazing. It's like...
Well, I was going to say, it was my second year, so I wanted to take a different perspective, and I was blessed to be put with Mehu and the alumni team. And I just really immersed myself in their program, and I got to spend time with those 95 young people, and they made me feel young. They let me participate with what they were doing. The rope course was really cool. Nick and I shared a very, very special moment when we went through the actual rope course, and I had the opportunity to see him evolve as a leader. He got to come back to this summit as a youth leader. And for me, it was really not about confidence or arrogance. It was just about immersing myself in their program and just taking a back seat. Leadership is not always about being in the front of the room and being the center of attention. Sometimes you just take a step back and serve. It just comes down to having a service attitude and being a servant leader, and just being there for guys like Nick, who is a leader himself, and making him aware of what he brings to the table. So I want to thank Nick, because that I'll never forget that moment, that rope course. We're up there, and you know, he's making me do the course. So I certainly appreciate that, Nick. You're a very, very good role model. So keep it up, buddy.
Awesome, Anthony. Jeff said you rock, so that's awesome. And then Ariana said, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? I love that quote so much. So that's awesome. We don't have any questions yet because who knows what the heck the lag is right now on on YouTube. Who knows? Jen, you have a question. You told me you had a really burning question for Anthony. Someone did that
Swift,
a couple sessions ago. I forget who it was. Or no, it was Omid. Okay, hold on. Sorry. While you think of your question, I have a super like flexibility thing actually, which turned out awesome, and it almost kind of started this whole thing. So I don't know if you guys all know Omid, but we're all in the coach room. We all at GYLS have our own little awesome room with all the coaches where we hang out and do stuff. And so we're all kind of doing shares and whatever. And then Omid stands up and he's like, Sergio told me he has a really burning share he wants to tell in front of the whole room. I'm like, oh my god, man. And I really didn't. I didn't tell him anything, but whatever. He called me out.
That was pretty funny. Yeah.
You remember that? So I'm like, oh my god. Okay, what the heck am I going to say? Be flexible, like utilize this opportunity. So I went and talked about how I basically taught presence to my home team and how it was amazing and blah, blah, blah. And then Carolyn, who's the leader of the coaches, comes back, and as I'm saying this, she's like, oh, you should totally lead a session on presence for the coaches. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. And I was actually with the alumni this year, so I kind of wasn't really in the main room and with the coaches that whole time, so I didn't actually get the chance to at GYLS. But they were all like, oh, we want to see this. So I did the first session of this on presence, which kind of allowed this whole thing to even happen. So thank you, Omid. It's basically, we're all here because of Omid calling me out. Flexible, basically. So, Jen, what's your burning question for Anthony that you told me you had? I mean, it was a really awesome, amazing question.
My question is, like, what is it? Because I know you said this is your third year, Anthony, teaching or coaching at GYLS.
Yep.
What is it to like? How does it feel to see like the kids that you've seen like the first year, like see them go from youth lead or youth ambassador, alumni, or whatever? Have you seen them like grow a lot and like from the stuff that you've been teaching, and like how's it supporting all the like crazy differences in like the new leaders?
Well, as Sergio can attest, it's being a coach is a very, very special position, and it's really an honor and a privilege because not many adults get the opportunity to serve at that level. We get our home teams, we get our away teams, so it's really unique to watch. Especially Facebook has made it very easy to follow what you guys are doing out there after you go through the program. I mean, unfortunately, Sergio and I didn't have the opportunity to go through the Youth Summit, but we get to see it with a different perspective. We get to see it from the outside looking in, and we get to see people go from being nervous. Because, hey, when you come to GYLS for the first year and you have those second year, those alumni all pumped up, yelling and screaming, and they're bringing you to your room, from the moment that a person walks in, they're shocked. So it's definitely a culture shock. It's new. It's different. And then to see them evolve from that shy person throughout the week and to make bonds and connections, especially with their roommates. I've been blessed to have incredible rooms the last 2 years. My teams were phenomenal, and just to see the connections and the bonds built up throughout the week is phenomenal. And to see those bonds continue throughout the year, and then when they come back for the second, and the very privileged to come back for the third year. But more importantly, it's seeing them evolve outside of the Youth Summit, because the foundation builds a week-long leadership program. But this is just to give you the tools necessary to go out into your home area, your hometowns, and keep that momentum going all year long. So to have that support system with the people involved is really phenomenal, and that's where you really see the real growth when you're at these UPWs, or you have an impromptu trip just to visit somebody, and you see those bonds and connections, and people serving at that high level, and to come back to GYLS and to share that with other people. That's where I think I see the benefit, and I see these young people grow as leaders. They didn't know they had it in them, and to see them really. Again, I look at Nick as a perfect example of that.
Nick who, by the way? Because there's so many Nicks. Which
Oh,
one?
that's between him and I. He knows it. He knows who he is.
Secret Nick. The Nick.
The Nick.
Awesome.
Nick knows who he is.
Yeah, as long as Nick knows who he is, so that's all that matters. I actually have a little mini answer to that question too, because I've also been at GYLS. For seeing people coming back, like when you have an ambassador who comes back as an alumni, and I had tons of those. And then my first year, I had an alumni who came back as a youth leader last year and who came back as a youth coach this year, and I got to serve side by side, which was the most rewarding thing ever. It's amazing to have had him in the room, and there was like almost this thing where he almost got kicked out and had to go home for it, almost, but not quite. And so he came back as a youth leader and then back as a youth coach, so that was amazing. So my conversion rate's all right. And then from last year, I had 2 alumni in my room, both come back as youth leaders this year. And they both say that a lot of it was presence, actually. So if you haven't seen that, go watch the first one. It was actually one of the main tools that helped that. But it's obviously all them. I really did nothing. It's all them. But to see your people come back and have that like rapport with them, you come back and you already know them and you're friends, that is the coolest thing. That's like literally what keeps me going back. Like I can't wait to go back next year and see like all my Wolfpack buddies come back as alumni and youth leaders. That's gonna be the coolest thing ever. So,
hey, Sergio, was Lucas on this?
Big Daddy?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't in my thing, but I think he was across. Wasn't he in?
Oh no, he was on my team, but was he on the? Is he watching the video today?
Oh, is he on it today? I don't know if he's on it live. He hasn't posted any questions. Maybe he's a secret.
Calling him out.
I thought you mentioned him.
Calling you out.
I thought you mentioned him earlier, and I was just gonna say that to see Lucas, a guy that I got to work with this year, to see all the phenomenal stuff that he was doing. I mean, our guys, they called the room the Goat House, and these guys were really, really close. So, and Lucas was a big reason for that. I mean, like Sergio was saying, it's not anything that we're doing. It's what these guys are doing. We just get to help sit back and watch it all unfold. So,
yeah, we've actually got a question from Ariana. Jen, are you on that?
Yeah. I've been following the PowerPoint throughout the presentation, but one of the points was confusing on the critical few, not the insignificant many. I'm a little confused with this. Could you briefly explain it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Again, a lot of it, we are so pulled in so many different directions that we're very reactionary to what is taking place. So there's just, for me, it's a lot going on, that if we focus on one task at hand or 2 tasks at hand, we can get a lot more done than by being scattered and being distracted. I know my friend Jessica is on this, and she has her bouts with Facebook. So she's on Facebook, then she's not on Facebook, then she's on Facebook. So she really eliminates that as a distraction and focuses on what she needs to get done. And she has some incredible plans that she's working on, some phenomenal things that she's doing. She was working on a 6-week plan, which kind of inspired me to do my own plan. But she had Facebook and recognized that it was a distraction for her. So really, it was something that she eliminated so she can focus on the critical things in her life. So just wanted to use that as an example. We're very distracted with what's coming in with Facebook and social media, text messages, phone calls, whatever it may be, that we can't really focus on what's in front of us. So that's really my interpretation of it. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, I'm sure that definitely does. I got value out of that for sure. And I actually have a tiny little thing to add.
Sure.
Tony says that 20% of the actions will get you 80% of the results. So you could have a list of things you have to do, 10 things long, and you only really have to do 2 of those to get your outcome. If you guys watched Brody's session on RPM, you would understand the concept of outcome, and if you haven't, it
Go
was
watch
actually
it.
live only, so you can't actually go watch it anymore. But yeah, so in terms of focusing on the important things instead of the insignificant many, it's really only a couple key things that you have to do to get your outcome. So many of us have to-do lists that are so pointless, and there's so many things you have to do, but when you start thinking in terms of outcomes, what's your outcome for all of the things that you're doing? There's really only a couple important things you have to do to actually achieve that outcome. So, I don't think we have any more questions. Jessica, do you possibly have a question for Anthony? Am I calling you out right now? Hold on, let me unmute you because you're muted.
Okay. Is it? Okay, sorry again if it's loud. I do actually have a question for Anthony. I was noticing in your PowerPoint you didn't really mention anything about fear. And I think fear and leadership are something that go hand in hand, and that some of our greatest leaders are people who face a tremendous amount of fear. What do you think about fear and leadership?
Because of the Tony environment, I've eliminated fear out of my vocabulary. I don't look at fear. I don't want to fear anything. Yeah, I mean, language is very important. I know that was mentioned in one of the previous sessions. I think Tony used this analogy with the NASCAR driver is going around the racetrack, and if you're looking at the wall, you're looking at the wall, you're looking at the wall, you're going to hit the wall. So I don't want to look at the wall. I want to focus on positive stuff. I mean, any elaboration on that, Sergio?
Yeah, a little bit. I used to have a motorcycle. I actually just sold it recently. And so when you're driving a car, it's not as intense when you're just driving. Well, obviously, when you're racing a car, you have to look around the turn. You can't look at the wall. You have to look where you want to go. But on a motorcycle, to pass your license, you literally have to have your head turned around, looking around the turn. You can't just kind of look. You have to physically fully turn your head and look at where you want to go to pass your test, at least in Canada. I'm not sure how it is or anywhere else in the world, and that's actually like how you have to ride. When you're riding a motorcycle, it emphasizes that concept so much more, because you can get away with driving and like eating a snack or something, or listening to music and kind of just turning without really looking. On a motorcycle, your life is like really on the line. And so when you're going around to turn on a bike, you really have to crank your head and look into the turn. So it's a good example. On a car, it's like massive. On a bike, like you have to do it or you will die. And thank God I'm still here. I rode my bike for 3 years. I looked around my turns, and it all worked out for me. So I think we've actually got a question from Nicholas. Who knows if it's the same Nick? We'll never know.
He actually said it. Do you want me to read it?
Damn it. Yeah.
That was supposed to be our bond, Nick.
Anthony, this is for you. Anthony, that compliment made my day. Thanks for that. And thank you for inspiring us during that ropes course. Seeing you made me realize that fear is just an illusion. And this year, when I climbed the ropes course, I remembered what you taught me during my alumni year. I was able to go through the course without holding onto the rope and conquer my own fear of heights. You're an awesome role model.
Boom.
Oh, man, Nick, you're giving me a tear in my eye, man.
Yeah, he did great. I saw him. He was in the alumni group. He did the ropes course with us, and you were awesome, Nick.
Yeah, I was there too. I was blessed to be the coach of the alumni, and yeah, the ropes course was intense. Again.
So does that mean that Nick is coming back as a youth coach next year?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Okay. You better be.
Do we have any more questions? Now is the time. Here's like the final questions. If you have any, guys, there's still a bunch of viewers. Post your questions now.
Well, I want to thank everybody for sticking by with the technical difficulties. I do appreciate that. Again, the technical stuff's not my strong suit, so I'll try to get that worked out for next time. Sergio, thank you for facilitating and making sure everything has gone according to plan. So.
Yeah, that was actually totally all planned. Like, you guys think it wasn't, but it totally was all very on purpose. Nothing happens by accident. It was all on purpose. Life happens for you, not to you. None of these technical difficulties were happening to us. They were happening for us. To give a quick little lesson on flexibility utilization, which is a really powerful skill that not a single session leader has looked to present yet. Like, we wouldn't have ever talked about that, basically, in at least the first half of the year. You could totally run a full session on flexibility. Like, it's such a massive thing. Emily said, hell yeah. I think I was not to flexibility. She doesn't care. So, yeah. Don't know if we have any more questions. Anthony, if you have any maybe final comments?
If anyone knows how to get a hold of Taylor Swift, just let her know I'm available. I highly doubt she watched through the technical difficulties. So, so if anyone could pass along the message, I'd appreciate it. That's cool.
I don't know, man. She was digging it. Well, let me see. We have a chat thing up here. What is that? Oh, okay, no. We're good. So, that was Leadership 101 / Flexibility 101. And I know we actually talked a tiny little bit about fear. You had a question on fear. Next weekend, it's Josh, one of the youth leaders, on conquering fear and living with passion. So that's going to be awesome. You definitely want to be there for that.
Josh might want to check that out.
Yeah, Josh's is going to be awesome. So you definitely want to make it. And then we've got David Wilson, O'Mead, Katie Pitts from Free Spirit Girl, Luis Angel from AE Mind, Chuck Hogan, one of the alumni team leader. And we've got a whole bunch of more people lined up. We have people lined up all the way till December 27th, basically the full year. So we've already booked half of these. So if you want to do one, if you want to lead one, now is the time to ask because they are filling up. We've only got room for another half of the year. And
Sergio, I want another one in 2015.
Oh man, 100%. Emily said she can't wait for Anthony 2.0. So, do we have another question? You just did half a session on flexibility? Yeah, we did, but we wouldn't have without this opportunity to do it. So that's awesome. We could run another, we could do a full year webinar on flexibility. I can't even stress how massive of a topic it is. And especially when you, if you ever crew a UPW, if you ever come as a coach at GYLS, you'll understand that flexibility, plans change, and the ability to adopt to what you have to do is massive in getting things done, especially when you can't. So I think that's pretty much it. Send us home, Anthony.
Well, everyone, thank you for your time this morning. Again, I appreciate the flexibility. This is just the tip of the iceberg for me as far as presentations that I have out there available. I try to customize them to the audience, so I tried to make this flexible for everybody. Well, we succeeded with that, Sergio. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming on. If it's morning, afternoon, evening, certainly appreciate that. And if you get the chance to check it out afterwards, I certainly appreciate that as well. So I want to thank everyone for their time and sticking with it for an hour and a half. And thanks, Sergio, again for facilitating. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Anthony, for even coming on here. And if you made it to this point, if you are watching this right now, you are absolutely incredible. You are unbelievable. You are the cream of the crop. You are outstanding. If you literally made it to this point,
you're a leader.
You are a leader if you made it to this point. So we'll see you all next Saturday, and adios.